How's it going, Blazers? This is David at Blade Banter, just responding to a tag for unsung heroes of your knife collection. I just have a few that I put together. They each have a little bit of either very much of a use or a meaning, but may not be as popular as some would make them out to be. So that's just something that's kind of interesting with that tag, and then we'll get right into it for that. So one of them here is this knife here. So this is going to be one that is the San Renmu. This is the 7063. So this one is a little knife. That's a little G-lock, as they call it, of course, access lock for it. But I took this thing and I built a little Jeep for the kids with this, with the cardboard box, and made it through it. I mean, cut things down, did its job. So this is one thing that was kind of an interesting little tool. And it's one I really, I mean, for the pricing, I mean, there's like, I think under $10. So for the pricing, I was just like, I'll just use it and cut things up. That's one thing about a user blade. You don't really care if it gets damaged too much. And then really, you can resharp it. But that's one thing that really was nice about this one, is just like, put it to use, did its job, and sharpen it back up. Go for it again. So that's this knife here. That's one that a lot of people pick up because of the price, and it's actually a pretty solid knife. I mean, that's for the action itself is pretty sweet. So that's that one here. One that's kind of lost favor in the public's eye is the Fraction, but this is one that I really was fidgeting with quite a bit when I first got it, and it's got a little bit less pocket time than it used to, but this one is one that has a deep carry pocket clip I got from Kershaw. And then it's still a fairly solid knife, a little bit more popular now. You can get it in a lot of different places, but Fraction is a nice little flipper. So some of the tension on the flipper tab is a little higher, but it does rock it out. And then it hasn't failed me, has never bounced off the stop. You can flip this open and close as quick as you humanly can, and it's not going to do anything. It's going to close how it's supposed to close, open how it's supposed to open. So that's a really nice one here. And then one that's been around, there's a lot of the popular knives currently, as far as a Pilar. You're going to have some of the Imps and everything else. One knife that's been around before that was this Cold Steel. The Cold Steel Tough Light is one. When I picked this up, I already had the Pilar, but then I went and I got rid of the Pilar because this is one that is just such a nice feel in hand. It's kind of an extension of your hand when you use it. And so this one ergonomically was really quite impressive. So I kept this one around. It still is able to close with one hand. But if you haven't picked up a Tough Light, at least a handle one, you should do that. Otherwise, I think you're doing yourself a little bit of an injustice with it in not being able to experience this one in hand. So just check that one out. But yeah, it's been around before some of the other ones, so don't know exactly when that came out. If anybody knows, you can leave it down in the comments too. But I think it's amazing. It's a nice knife. One that is another I just got in. So this one's from Jack Farmboy. I sent him a knife just to send him a knife, and he sent me this knife. He was supposed to kind of keep them together because this one was kind of similar to the one that I sent him, and I just figured he would keep it. But he sent this over, put a new edge on it, and then just been able to carry this around. It's a fairly good user for the 511 Scout. You can still pick this up also on Amazon. You can get it with this Tanto tip and also with regular drop point, I believe. But nice little handle, very ergonomic. Also, this one has a lanyard for it, but it's good in hand. So I would recommend this one too, if you just want something to be able to use, take out with you. And then one that I don't use, I take it out, I go in, flip it open, I look at it, and then I put it back. So this one is not one that I've shown off very much. I showed off the plastic one, but I did pick this one up. This is the Fox knife. This is Bostonelli collaboration. This is the Dragotac, and there's the wood. This is just a gorgeous knife. So I do really like this one. So even for it being a friction folder, so even if it's going to close, it's going to be able to be held in that position by your pointer. So you're not going to lose fingers, hopefully. You're not going to cut yourself. But I just think this is just a beautiful knife, and I have not used it. I just take it out, look at it, and then put it back. Also on videos, it does show that there's a tactical thing as well. So if you do hold it, there's a tactical pressure device as well that you could use for that. But just very nice on that knife. And that goes back into the sheath. And then the last one that's of course very popular, it just popped into the screen there, but the Opinels, this one is one that I did with my kids to do some forced patina. So that's one thing that it's a very inexpensive knife, but because of that, working with them on it, it was something that added a lot to the value of this knife. So on one of the videos, if you go back, there's a mustard. It's like mustard, I think I did pineapple juice and a little bit more vinegar. But that's all this forced patina that I did on that with them. So they had toothpicks, and they're adding some dots on there as well. So just a really cool thing for that knife. But that's all the ones there. I did put a patch on a hat because I am going to Blade Show West. So I'll probably be there Friday, Saturday. I don't think I'm going to be there Sunday, but I will be wearing that hat on the days that I'm there. Out of all the 232 listed vendors, I went through those, and then I kind of whittled down to about 46 that I'm wanting to actually see video at, if they're available, have them show off some of their knives. So that's going to be the plan on that right now. That might change, but I'll list that probably on Instagram or somewhere else as far as all the companies I'm looking to stop in at. But that's about it. Thanks for the tag. I appreciate it. Over to Slicey Dicey, and then all the other folks that are really part of the community. So I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.